Welcome back, everyone, on the journey to transform culture. I'm Steve, and I'll be your guide. Well, folks, it's great to getting back in touch with you guys. Been took a little bit of time. I've been helping family do some excavation projects around the around their house. A lot of digging, a lot of trenching, a lot of getting dirty. Things you want to do, when we're headed toward winter. Yes, and it's fall, and I tend to gravitate to spring, summer, and early fall. And it's not that I don't like winter. It's great to play in the snow and do all the cool, fun, vacationy snow things. But trudging through it on a daily basis, you know, as I've as I become more seasoned in my years, I tend not to be as friendly with the big snow shovel, right? I grew up slinging snow out of the driveway. I was it. I was an only child, so I was the snow blower, right? Slinging it out. And yeah, it was grueling. So when I graduated from high school, I finished out high school, I should say, in the Northwest, I was gone. Boom. 2 weeks from the date of graduation, I was headed south. Not to the south, but southerly, and then onward and upward from there. But anyway, enough about all that. As we head towards winter, you know, let's embrace it with positive attitude, right? But but as we head to that, one of the things I was kind of flipping through the book, just to maybe touch upon a little bit of insight is I do have a section in there, and it's called "Why Can You Trust Me?" And it was given a little bit of background about myself, so that you get an idea about um, hey, I'm a human. I was born into this world just like you, and these were some of my experiences that helped to kind of shape me. So you get a little perspective. It was just about perspective. But as I looked at the title, I thought to myself, that's actually the one and only question that ever should be asked at a job interview is why can we trust you? Whether it's asking me or anybody else, right? And from a leadership perspective, for those people who who are leaders, it doesn't matter if you're a lead, a supervisor, a department manager, a plant manager, a division, president. It doesn't matter. If you're in any phase of leadership, really, that one question is enough. Why can we trust you? Right? Not asking yourself, but asking somebody else asking that of you. Why can we trust you? That should be the only question you need to ask. And then let the person unfold and unpack, the multiple facets of why you can trust them. Obviously, it's not going to be a one sentence and one word response. And quite honestly, that question could be asked of anybody in your workforce. Anybody on your team could be asked that same question and be allowed to just unpack, you know, hey, we got, in about 10 minutes, tell us if it's a group doing the interview process, just depends. Obviously, it's different companies, different scenarios, but hey, take 10 minutes and tell us why can we trust you? And let that person explain whether that's, they talk about their job, history or a little bit about their job history, their education, you know, um, what they want to offer up in how they developed, and they're developing, whether that be education, experience, all these different things. But, and of course, within that is, because we've often either used this or have heard this, tell us about a time when you solved a problem or when you XYZ, right? And you give various examples of well, this is how I led my team and this is how I was able to facilitate, or this is how whatever. There's a myriad of different examples you could give for your experience because obviously our experiences are different. But ultimately, it really comes down to why can I trust you? Because in the end, it's there's an accountability wrapped up in that question is integrity, accountability, obviously trustworthiness, right? Um, but also the results of why can I trust you? Why can I trust you to kind of move the needle in this organization? And we can kind of ask this question of ourselves too, right? I did so in writing that section to give, a little bit of background about myself is, and not as a full justification, but just give a lens to, my experiences and how I came up in the world. But it's such a great way to get folks to open up and then just let them freewheel and talk about a little bit about themselves, right? Because as leaders, hiring other leaders or other team members, we want folks to talk about themselves. We want folks, and why is that? Because when they get into our organization, so let's say this person comes into our organization, I want to know that this person is taking the value of their experience and who they are, and then that they are incorporating and integrating that into the value and experience and history of the organization that we are bringing them into, right? And so that now becomes, and I like to call it kind of, it's really kind of fun to think of it this way, but think of it as a bit of a professional alchemy. You're taking, right, there are no new ingredients, I hope, right? It always comes back to food with me, right? I know, don't ask me why, it always does. But I was having a conversation with a cousin of mine, and I was saying, there is nothing really new, right? There is not a whole lot new. But if you think about it, and I'm not a great cook, so I totally bow down to everybody who can cook. I'm a great taste tester though. Anyway, but alchemy, right? There are all these different ingredients, but you have different chefs and different people putting the ingredients together in super specific ways to get a flavor that you never experienced before, or a variance of that experience, a flavor, right? There's a variance to that particular dish, right? And to be appreciated. And that creates a value. There is a value creation. That is an alchemy of sorts. Well, think of that same thing as when you're bringing your team members on board, or when you're bringing new leadership, members of your leadership team on board. Is you're creating and you're bringing ingredients in, right? In this case, composition of ingredients in that person, because they're a mix of all kinds of experiences and education and so forth, and you're bringing them in, and that you're creating a flavor into your organization. I like to think of it that way because when I relate it to food, it just becomes so much more grand. Because flavor, I mean, we can't get away from it. We, as human beings, we like flavor. We like, we eat different meals, and we appreciate flavor. And we should appreciate the flavor of different people coming in to create a nuanced flavor for organization. And we want that to be a special thing. So, bringing it back to, why can we trust you, right? And allowing people that you're talking to about coming into your organization, whether that be an interview, a meeting, whatever, could be new accounts, doesn't matter what, but allowing them to explain so that you can, in this case, you can't taste that, but you can visually feel through their telling you of their experiences and so forth, how and what type of flavor they're bringing into your organization so that you can visualize how that can work, right? and allow them to be able to express that because you're going to find that you have a lot of folks who are creative, who are innovative, and some who are a little shy and a little, little apprehensive about talking about themselves. Even if they're accomplished, they might be a little more reserved, and that's fantastic. That there's nothing wrong with that, but allow them a floor, right? And if you need to kind of spur that along by saying, "Hey, that's really fantastic," highly encourage their um, expression about their experiences in life and professionally and all of these things because you want to really get a feel for what kind of you know ingredient this person becomes for your organization later on, and it might be an ingredient that you go, oh wow, this person, they're just about to hit their stride. They just need one more really, one or two, maybe a few, right? Whatever. But they may just need, they're ready for that next step in their career. And you want to catapult that. Why is that? Because you want to catapult your organization too. So you want to be a facilitator. You want to be the alchemist of your organization. You want to create a flavor that is not often seen. And when we really tap into the special qualities of people, their special, that special magic that they bring to your organization, I think you're going to find that when you open that door, don't make it overly complicated, especially with interviews. Why can we trust you? Open that door. Obviously, you're going to have follow up feeder questions that are kind of spur that along, but especially if they're a little more reserved. But that being said, just imagine what kind of amazing results you're going to get from people when you speak to them in a way that you have an interest in their story, you have an interest in their background and what formulated and shaped who they, are, but how they became who they are now and why that becomes such a special added ingredient to your organization. Obviously, the food thing is all awash over me, so it must be time for a snack. I don't know. But anyway, I just wanted to touch base a little bit about, why can we trust you? But really, it is about organizational alchemy and and becoming the alchemist of your organization. And this doesn't stop when just at the interview process. This continues on, right? Because you're constantly formulating and putting together combinations of people and skill sets and abilities to elicit more innovation and more creativity. And that's what you want. All right, folks, just wanted to touch base on that a little bit. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Remember to hit like, share, and subscribe. And also, remember to hit that good domino 3 to 5 times a day to uplift, motivate, inspire, and encourage folks. And when we do that, not only are we transforming their lives, and we're transforming our own lives. And in return, all of culture is transforming. And that's very special. And that's also how we protect love, right? In culture. All right, folks, it's been great talking to you. Hope you're having a fantastic day. We'll see you next time. Take care.